host, ladies and gentlemen, Liam Coen here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you? I could have gone longer, Liam. I could have gone on longer, but I wanted to hear from you. You know, what a season.
I appreciate it.
What a regular season.
Thanks for having us on. Thank you.
Hey, man, listen, I'm just going to jump straight into it because last time we spoke was prior to the game in London against the Rams in a pre-broadcast meeting, and you were talking about eliminating mistakes from your own team. You were talking about completely different issues and subject matters than what we're talking about right now. Where do you pinpoint a turnaround moment? Is there one for you?
Yeah, I think you can point to a few of those. Obviously, a difficult game in London, playing against your former boss and a great team with the Rams. It's not how you wanted to end that game, but it allows you to look inward when you go through tough times and you have bad games or bad weeks. It allows you to look inward and try to figure out what the results are going to end up being and what those solutions are. And so, and then you go to Houston, right? And you're up 20 in the fourth quarter with a chance to kind of put them away in a lot of ways. And we didn't get it done. So anytime you go through difficult times, just like life, it allows you to look inward and have some honest conversations with yourself, with the staff, with the players, and try to figure out what's going to be the solution. And credit this group for doing that, for looking inward and trying to take those solutions and bringing them to the forefront and executing those on Sundays.
But was there a moment in a game where you felt it in your gut, in your heart, like, okay, this is it, and we're unstoppable. We're a wagon. We're a machine. Is there a moment like that for you?
I think the Chargers game, if you look at that as a kind of a complete team win, where we played really well in all three phases. I think that was something that when we won that game, it really looked at our team looked at it like, okay, we have an opportunity to continue to elevate and raise the standards. We've done some good things, but that was a really quality, I think, team win, which gave our guys a ton of confidence to continue to move forward, to say, okay, we can go on the road against Denver and we can compete with a really good football team. And we've had some quality wins, but playing your best football later in the season, as you guys know, December and January is really what matters.
Absolutely. And again, you're an honest guy. I am as well. I will just shoot you straight that when I was on that flight home from London, and again, you were stressing prior to that game, we're making too many mistakes as a team. Your Wednesday segment where you show a game breaker, right, to your team. You said you shared with us that you showed the Jacksonville Jaguars logo to your team. Like you basically were shooting your team straight up. We're breaking ourselves here. And then you had the same mistakes against the Rams. I thought this team is in trouble. And now I'm talking to you as a bona fide, surefire Coach of the Year candidate. Your quarterback is a bona fide MVP candidate. Your defensive coordinator is a bona fide assistant Coach of the Year candidate. You got winners all over the lot here. And I'm wondering if there's a secret sauce that you can share with the audience here. And I try to pinpoint an actual game moment, but is there a secret sauce here that you can share?
Rich, I've been very fortunate to be around some really quality coaches along the way, right? Whether you're coaching at Brown University or you're coaching for the Los Angeles Rams with guys like Sean McVay. And you learn so much along the process, along your journey. I grew up in a football household. My dad was a college and high school football coach for my entire life, and that's all I've ever known. And so you get to learn from experience, you get to learn from others' experience and figure out, okay, when you're in that situation and this is how I'm going to maybe handle it. And, we hired a very quality staff, as you mentioned. I think a lot of hungry young football coaches that relate very well to this group and the players have taken to it. So, look, this is a talented group. This is a talented team. It's a very fun group to be around because they allow us to keep coaching every single week, where we've won a lot over the last couple of weeks, but they allow us to keep coaching them hard. They're open to it. These guys practice their tails off. We don't have prima donnas walking around like, nah, I'm not doing that, or I can't do this because I've played or I've been there and done that. We don't have that going on. This is a group that's hungry and, a lot of work getting started for us right now.
And, I don't want to say you unlocked Trevor Lawrence because he has had 4,000-yard seasons beforehand. His 29 touchdown passes are a career best. And obviously, he set a record for the franchise in terms of touchdowns accounted for. It just, from my perspective, again, I know I'm not in the film room, I'm not in your building. It just feels different with him. It feels like he is a confident dude, and he's seeing it and he's firing, and he knows when to take off. He's not making mistakes that we've seen him make. I'm wondering what you see from your perspective, Coach.
That's a great point, Rich. He's taking care of the football, but also playing aggressive, and he's throwing the ball on time and in rhythm and accurately, but also using his legs as a weapon and being able to extend football plays, make plays outside of the pocket, which forces the defense to defend every blade of grass, right? There's nothing more frustrating to a defense that you can't get to him when he's in the pocket. Then he escapes. He's a threat to run, but also keeps his eyes down the field and makes throws. And he's executing third downs in red zone at a high level. And I think in 2-minute situations, whether it's end of half or end of game, and these quarterbacks are judged by those moments, right? By 2-minute, by third downs, by red zone. And ultimately, does your team win? Do you elevate the team and the players around you to lead? And that's what he's done. He has complete ownership of the offense right now. He's making audibles, checks, cans, alerts. He's doing everything that you want a franchise quarterback to do, and he's doing it at a high level right now.
And how does that change your daily conversations with him based on maybe even the first month of the season? How does that change for you?
Yeah, it's a lot more, less, I guess you could say, like coaching and more just conversational, and allows me to listen and hear him out of things that he's seeing when he's preparing, when he's watching tape. As we're going through the week, little, slight tweaks and adjustments that we make together. I think Grant Udinsky, Spencer Whipple have done a phenomenal job working with him on a day-to-day basis, and it's been a collaborative effort. But he's earned the right to have those conversations. He's seeing it at a really high level, throwing it at a really high level, and the players all trust him. They know his preparation. They know what he puts into it each and every week, and there's not a lot of things on Sunday that are confusing him or surprising him, and that's credit to his preparation.
And in terms of your offense as well, before we move to the defense, and obviously this week, I've got Liam Coen here from the Jacksonville Jaguars on the Rich Eisen Show. When you lost Travis Hunter in the middle of all of the transition from what the team was, I guess, 1.0 this year, if it's fair to say, to what it is now. Normally, when you lose your second overall pick that plays I can't even say there's nothing normal about him. Normally, when you just use your second overall pick and don't get any production due to injury, it really hamstrings the team. How much did that lead you guys to go get Jacoby Meyers, and how has he helped you guys continue being that chunk play down the field aggressive offense, Coach?
Yeah, it was challenging losing Travis, especially at the time that we did. He had come off the end of that Rams game in London where he ended up having 100 yards.
Yep.
Trevor and he started to build some chemistry and continuity there, and then unfortunately gets hurt on the bye. And so we had to adjust, right? We had to have players step up, which we have, and then it gave us an opportunity to go get Jacoby, which has really spearheaded our offense, and especially in the intermediate parts of the field. He's tough, physical, smart football player that Trevor trusts. I mean, there was an immediate connection between those guys when he came, getting ready for that Houston week. We end up losing that game to Houston, but you just felt a little bit of a chemistry that was going to build. And what Jacoby's done in the middle of the field in some of those tough areas has allowed Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., Brenton Strange to go be themselves and to do what they do really well and attack the areas of the field that they are comfortable and have success doing so. So it's allowed our offense to kind of unlock in some ways, especially in the intermediate middle of the field. And he blocks his tail off. Jacoby's a pro's pro.
And now let's talk your defense. And I guess turn it to this upcoming week. You got the league's leading rusher of 2025, James Cook, coming in your house, but you do have a defense that's only the third team since 2000 and not a lot of an opposing rusher to hit 75 yards in a game. The Jacksonville defense under Anthony Campanelli is 85.6 yards per game. That's the NFL's best in rush defense. What has this coach done on that side of the ball and getting you ready for a game like this weekend, Coach?
Yeah, Campy deserves a lot of credit, and with the defensive staff, I've known Anthony for a long time. I was at Maine, and he was at Boston College, and
Look at
I
that.
was watching him coach, and I'm like, if I ever get an opportunity to hire somebody, I want to hire him, and that has been so much fun to work with him, to see his personality show in this defense and the way that they play, their effort, the physicality, the toughness. The pillars of our defense are stopping the run and taking the football away. And we've done it at a high level. These guys have bought into it. These guys detail and coach the heck out of run fits, gap integrity, physicality, strain, and also ball disruption. And it's what they've done at a high level. To not allow a 75-yard rusher is pretty impressive. I mean, to play Jonathan Taylor twice,
That's right.
Christian McCaffrey, some of those really darn good players in this league. And look, it's a group effort. Campy's a huge part of it, and we've got players buying in and doing their jobs at a high level. It's been really fun to watch, and it's a huge reason why we've had success this year.
Yeah, and then obviously Josh Allen's coming into your house, Coach. The challenge that represents, first blush, is what?
Yeah, huge respect for Josh, and really for the whole Buffalo Bills. I mean, they've won at so many different levels, and have won a lot of critical football games over the past few years. He's a man. I mean, he's just a total freak that plays the game. He's a football player that also happens to play quarterback, right? He's extremely talented, can run it, can throw it, can improvise, can do so many good things. I really respect that the way they run the football, the way that they run things there. Extremely creative. Joe Brady does a great job. Aaron Cromer, their offensive line coach, does a phenomenal job. And we're going to have a huge test for us this week. I mean, when you've got one of the best run offenses coming into town, we've got a good run defense. I mean, that's what you hope for. You hope for those matchups, and you got two great quarterbacks going head to head.
Where Allen was going off, but again,
yeah.
listen, that's what I do for a living, is just kind of subtly throw something aside without making a big deal of it. That was next level, Coach. That was. By the way, did you notice that Sean Payton even caught wind of that and gave you a sort of a tip of the cap? Did you notice
he's
that?
one of the best at understanding what you have to do to kind of motivate your teams, right? I mean, I went down and watched Sean Payton coach in 2016, and I learned a lot of football from him. So you learn everything from everybody, and you try to take something from everybody. That's the beauty of this profession.
Well, in the couple minutes I have left for you, again, I know this is not your lane, but I'm going to throw it your way anyway. There's going to be a lot of first-time head coaching candidates applying for gigs now. The carousel's spinning. What advice would you give them based on your experience of getting this job in Jacksonville and making the most of it in a first year? What advice do you give them when they're sitting in front of ownership to try and pound the table for themselves? What would you
the
say?
Same advice that Sean McVay gave me was to go be yourself. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you only get so many of these opportunities. And I know that this was a dream opportunity for me. I've been wanting to be a head football coach since I can remember wanting to be anything. I wanted to be my dad. That was who my dad was and is. And so to truly be yourself throughout the process, when it comes to on the Zooms with the owners, with the GMs, whoever it is that's involved in the process. And then when you get in front of them, let your personality be who you are. And when you get in the building, try to do the same, because I think that's when things can get a little sideways. You try to maybe if I were to try to be Sean or Kevin O'Connell or Zach Taylor and things like that, I don't know if it always works, right? I think players see through that, and they're the ones that ultimately truly matter when it comes to this, is the relationships with the players. And when you're yourself, I think they can respect that either way.
And then, again, the last one for you here is you got to be there for so many people, man, in your own personal life, obviously your professional life. This is a big week. The Cons put their faith in you, and you have delivered for regular season. Obviously, there's not going to be a banner raise to kick off Sunday. You know what I mean? So that said, are you going to take it in? Just look around in that stadium where, you got a 13-win championship team out there. The quarterback is absolutely an MVP candidate. I know you don't toot your own horn. You're a coach of the year candidate, as I mentioned. What's that going to be like for you right before kickoff, do you think?
It's you're proud to be a part of it, right? I mean, you're proud to have the opportunity presented by Mr. Khan and by his family and by this organization for trusting you to go and lead this team. I'll definitely try to take a couple minutes. You haven't had much time to self-reflect and to go through how special this year has been. I told our team this a couple nights, really last week, how special this group is. Guys, think about it. Take a little time. But I haven't had the opportunity to have many of those moments. And hopefully at Sunday before kickoff, I'll maybe take a moment there in pregame.
You don't play the why not us card anymore, do you? You play that?
Well, we're a home underdog, so I think we got something.
Okay.
Yes.
There it is.
Okay. You're taking notice. I like it, man. Congrats on the regular season. I appreciate the time here. And it's just been awesome, for me to be able to have a front row seat. You were kind enough to come on after you got hired. We chatted during the season when you were trying to get your team in the right direction, and it's been nothing but straight up. So I won't take full credit for that. But all said and done, congrats on everything to this point in time, and thanks for the time this week. Good luck.
I appreciate it, Rich. Thanks for your support.
You bet. That's Liam Coen, everybody, here on the Rich Eisen Show, the Jacksonville Jaguars.